think of any card. You got one?
I got one.
What's the card?
The King of Hearts.
The King of Hearts. Shh. Not the Queen of Spades?
The
The King of Hearts?
Okay. Cool.
The King of Hearts?
Yes.
Now here's your question.
Okay.
How many Bitcoins does it take to get some goddamn respect in this town?
What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. So it's Friday, it's the weekend, we made it. Congratulations, everyone. So welcome back to the channel where you subscribe for daily updates every single day. That's right, guys. We do not take a day off over at the Crypto Zombies channel. And if we have a look, beautiful green day. About damn time, huh? Now the question is, what's going on with this? We are approaching the weekend. Actually, it is the weekend, right? And we do know that volume tends to fall off a little bit. So is Bitcoin going to continue its sideways trading pattern? Do we have to go lower and fill that CME gap? Or are we just going to continue our upwards pattern? Well, we're going to get into that. And if that sounds interesting to you, you guys know what to do. And if you're not subscribed yet, well, what are you waiting for? We do this every single day. You do not want to miss out. Now we have gone down another $1 billion. Interesting, but you are seeing some green in the top coins right here. Now, Bitcoin is up 2%, Ethereum not doing as well, XRP 5%. Now, Litecoin is up 10% today. I think a lot of people are getting really excited for the Litecoin halving. We got 59 days, so we know what this means, guys. This is going to decrease the supply. Simple economics. People are getting pumped. What other coins are up today? Bitcoin 2 again. Come on, guys. This is obviously a scam. $437,000 worth of volume. Let's look. I mean, look at this. This is clearly a pump and dump, guys. I'm just trying to help out any new investors. I know any of the OGs are not going to touch this, but look at this. So this thing was going at around a dollar, went all the way up to $25, so it 25x'd and immediately dumped back again. Guys, what are you doing buying this crazy coin? Some people cannot be saved, though. Some people can't be saved. We also have Ardor up 44%, Zcoin, Zilliqa, Status, Hypercash, Tezos. So, long story short, if Bitcoin doesn't figure out what the heck it's trying to do and keeps going sideways, well, these altcoins are going to continue to see their rallies. This usually happens when Bitcoin does go sideways, but oh no! Whale transaction! 59,294 Bitcoin has been moved! A day ago, though. It was moved a day ago, guys. Calm down. So let's dive in. Let's see what's going on. Obviously, we were in this ascending wedge right here. Actually, it doesn't really matter how you look at it. Some people were bringing these lines down here and putting them up over here. Really doesn't matter. We were in an ascending wedge. Nevertheless, we fell down, okay? We are currently now in this range between 7,400, which has been providing sort of that floor. Actually, it's more like 7,450. And now we have this ceiling of 8,262 that we are trying to get through. Now, as you can see, we've just been bouncing around, okay? So Bitcoin may potentially just bounce around in this region for a little bit longer, but I do know what you're saying. Weekend, low volume, what's going to happen? Well, if we do have a different look, we have actually formed a little bit of a downwards channel right here. You can see we're actually bouncing back and forth sort of in this region, and it looks like we've touched it yet again, and we may potentially fall down even lower, which if we were to fall directly down from this point would probably bring us to that $7,200. Now that's that zone where if we were to go to that level, we would actually close out the CME gaps. Now the reason that everybody keeps bringing this up, I know you're probably sick about hearing this, but the reality is that gaps get filled. I mean, if we just go back over the charts, look, if we go all the way back to January, in the beginning of 2018, look, any gaps that we have, here's a gap, right? Here's a gap, we filled it. Here's a gap, we filled it over here. Here's a gap, it got filled, gap got filled. Let's see, here's a gap, got filled. Gap got filled, gap got filled. This big gap over here that we had with that crazy, fat finger trade, that got filled. And now currently we are looking at this region right here. I will show you guys right here. This is what we are trying to now fill. Now currently you can see we have filled a little bit of it. We came down to this region, but we still need to go down to that 7,000. It's actually 7,184. So actually, I need to lower this a little bit. I put it a little bit high. But long story short, that's why everyone says that that's the region that we need to go to. So if we do enter that, we may wick up and be completely out of the waters. However, if we do continue to fall lower, well then for me, I'm still calling the $6,400 the floor. Personally, that's what I'm saying. However, we can also look at it from another perspective as well. And if you want to look at the volume range, you notice that we are having this major resistance right here around that $7,926 level. The reason I bring that up is because we had this massive volume right over here over the course of basically all the way back from May 13th all the way to May 26th, and now currently we're having difficulty breaking above that again as well. However, you will notice that we have created this trend right here, okay? So maybe we are still just in an upwards trend and everything is fine, but then again, a lot of people think we still need to go down to this blue zone, we need to fill that gap, we need to get it over with, and we need to continue onwards. Now, I just want to point out that currently we have not put in lower lows. We have a low, higher low, higher low, okay? So this is still a good thing, and this is still a bullish trend, but I do want you guys to be careful out there because you can see we may potentially get closer and closer to the end of this wedge right here, which, let me just get my drawing tool just to show you guys real quick. You know, we may potentially see something like this where we just keep bouncing around in here, and then we get to the end of this wedge, which we've actually been looking at for quite some time, mid-June. We were saying around June 16th, but it looks like we may have a breakout sooner. So we're going to keep our eyes on this. But guys, if the volume continues to fall over the weekend and Bitcoin continues to tighten up, you know, and not really move as much, well, we could be due for a very massive Bitcoin move, and we're going to have to keep our eyes on that, guys. But I do want to point out one thing, and this is an interesting thing, as you can see right here. So this is brought up by Philb. You may follow him. He's a pretty prominent analyst, and he was actually talking about the fact that if you actually zoom out and look at the macro, and these are the yearly candles of Bitcoin, he says, yeah, it's a bull market, but he says it wasn't ever a bear market. He says if Bitcoin does not put in a lower low on the macro level, then does it mean we never entered a bear market? Well, on a macro level, I'm thinking that the answer is yes. So you could see right here, I mean, even if you look at the lows, the only year that Bitcoin put in a lower low was in 2015. But for the most part, year after year after year after year, these candles keep getting higher and higher. And we can even come over here and have a look at this as well. You can just see it on the logarithmic chart. I mean, obviously, you know, this is what we're worried about. This is what we're freaking out about right here. Like, come on, guys. The trend is your friend until the end, right? Well, look at this trend. This trend is definitely going up. Now, I understand in traditional markets, if you're in a bear market, if you're down 20%, but let's be real. I don't think you can compare Bitcoin to anything in the traditional markets, all right? I just wanted to point that out. And another thing too, we have the SFOX crypto market volatility report that came out. Now they had a few things that they highlighted. So there's three things I want to point out super quick. Number one was in May, Bitcoin had a nearly perfect negative correlation with the S&P 500, highlighting public interest in Bitcoin as a hedge against global markets. How many different guys have we seen on CNBC? They had that like fantasy draft, whatever it's called, CNBC pick. You saw people going in on Bitcoin, right? And you've seen these guys moving out of gold into Bitcoin. You're seeing all of these actual financial advisors suggesting, you know, even just 1% to maybe 5% of your portfolio to be allocated into Bitcoin, right? Also, while the SEC delayed two major ETFs in May, the market didn't seem to react. Also, we had a lot of bad news that came out with the Tether FUD, Binance getting hacked. I mean, you name it. We should have dumped. And we didn't. But the thing that they're saying right now is that the SFOX multi-factor market index for, right now is currently uncertain. Obviously, a lot of people don't really know 100% what's going on, but I do want to play this clip from SEC Chairman Jay Clayton, and I think it's quite interesting what he recently came out on, CNBC and had to say. So I'm going to play this super quick, and then we're going to talk about it.
Look at the trading of these cryptocurrencies, and our retail investors look at that and say, that looks like a stock or a bond, it trades. You know, we have sophisticated rules and surveillance to ensure that people are not manipulating the stock market. Those cryptocurrency markets, by and large, do not have that. And we're working hard to see if we can get there, but I'm not just going to flip a switch and say, this is just like stocks and bonds, because it's not.
So I guess in a strange way, this kind of validates what I just said about how you really can't compare Bitcoin to anything else, but I do also understand where they're coming from. There is a lot of manipulation in the markets. Now, there's manipulation in traditional markets too. Let's not kid ourselves here, okay? But that's the situation. Now, Max Kaiser actually had a little bit of a response to that. He said the problem is that the SEC, although having rules against manipulating markets, does not enforce or selectively enforce the rules. We have proven this to be true dozens of times. On the Kaiser report, Bitcoin gets rid of the corrupt SEC via its self-regulating protocol. He also went on to say that banksters know now they can't stop Bitcoin. What they'll try is a bear hug. They'll try to crowd Bitcoin out of the market by flooding the globe with their centralized crypto, which we've seen, with the likes of Facebook coin coming out, JPM coin, things of that nature. The idea is to try and marginalize Bitcoin. Fortunately, their own corruption will kill them. And not to mention the fact that U.S. taxpayers spent $801 million printing new dollars in 2018, not including counterfeits. In fact, if you guys were ever curious about how much it costs, which is kind of funny, you can see right here, it costs about 55 cents to make a dollar, about 11 cents to make a $5 bill, and 14 cents to make a $100 bill, because they got all those fancy little strips and stuff on them, right? So, which is kind of funny though when you think about it though. Even your $100 bill technically is only actually costs 15 cents to produce, whereas Bitcoins, they actually do have values. Not to mention the fact that the mining difficulty is at an all-time high today. I do not have it pulled up, but if you want to Google it, be my guest. I guarantee you it is, which is a very good thing moving forward. Now, here's something interesting though. So we had that case with Kik versus the SEC. Now, regardless of how you feel about that, one good thing that we do have coming out of this is the fact that during the entire situation, the SEC kept referring to Ether interchangeably back and forth with dollars, which just verifies once again what we've known all along, which is that Bitcoin and Ethereum are not securities, and they are in fact being recognized as currencies, regardless of your opinion, whether you think it's a store of value, it's a terrible store of value, Bitcoin can't be a currency because you can't buy coffee with it. Whatever your opinion is, the SEC pretty much validates that Bitcoin and Ethereum are both currencies, or at least minimally, they're not securities, okay? So we can at least agree that they are assets of some form. Now, I want to talk about this article, Crypto Adoption Accelerated. The value of cryptographic technology extends well beyond the mere price of Bitcoin. I agree. And I want to talk about something that I used to be dead against, which was the tokenization of everything. I said it wasn't going to happen. I said it was stupid. I said it doesn't make sense. Well, I've changed my stance on that, and I want to actually read a little bit from this article and let you know why. So, the author goes on to say that I've made my stance on tokenization very clear, but in case you don't follow me on Twitter, every single financial and real-world asset will be a crypto asset. Every equity, debt, derivative, parcel of land, bar of gold, you name it, it is going to be tokenized. In fact, it's going to be forced to be tokenized. And you might be saying, what are you talking about? Well, here's the thing. Financial services ranging from banking to wealth management are by and large a commodity. These institutions fight tooth and nail to limit their costs, cost of operation, right? This is exactly why I said if the price of gold does go up, why are they going to keep using it in electronics? Why are you going to keep using something that's price keeps going up, right? Well, these are basically costing these guys so much money in the form of custodians, audits, KYC, AML, and other compliance measures. So, long story short, crypto assets inherently solve this because it's verifiable, it's on the blockchain. And I want to sort of go into a strange example. Maybe this isn't the best example, but this is just what I thought of this morning. So I'm sure you guys have seen, the CG that they did in Star Wars, right? And you've seen now where they've been able to basically take people and digitize them. Now, I understand to the trained human eye, obviously, I could tell the difference between a fake and a real person, right? Clearly, right? But as technology improves, these are going to get better and better and better. And you hear about fake news, right? And not being able to verify whether or not something is real or not. Well, I'm just going to play a clip really quick. Now, this is from Bill Hader. He was impersonating Arnold Schwarzenegger, and this is over at Conan O'Brien, right? But what I really want to point out is what this guy did, Control-Shift-Face, and he was actually able to put Arnold Schwarzenegger's face, and you guys see we do this all the time, even on our Snapchat ads, right? Over Bill Hader while he was doing the impersonation. And honestly, to the untrained eye, if you were just looking really quick, you'd be like, wait, was that Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? I mean, we know it's not, but I'm just trying to prove the technology. Like, look at this.
So kind of a Schwarzenegger a little bit.
Yeah. I'm 4.5, father. Gotta get out of here. Get out of this. The bomb in there. Get out.
Now, this is Bill Hader. Look, if we go back earlier, you could see, look, here's Bill Hader's regular face. This
And
is...
she goes, I'm 4.5.
Oh, wait, no, hold on. Let me go back farther. Sorry. See right here, look.
Kids,
You see?
Is this being passed on?
So they were actually putting this effect on top of him. So what I'm trying to say is that at some point, you're going to have video floating around that's been, completely altered, files. How are we going to even know what the truth is, right? Blockchain, guys, tokenizations, putting it on a distributed ledger, immutable, censorship resistant, okay? So this is why this whole space is massive. And yes, I do personally believe that Bitcoin is at the forefront, but hey, let's take a break and let's play Guess That Crypto. Okay, so this is a fun website I stumbled on. It's called CryptoGuessingGame.com. Now, what is this logo? Do you guys know? Bitcoin Gold? Yep. This is so easy, guys. Come on. Ontology, Aeon, Funfair, Cash, Odyssey, Decentraland, Smart Cash, Bytecoin, Swarm, Enigma, Chainlink. Okay, that was fun. Nulls, we're done with that. So that was that, guys, basically. So, Facebook executives mistakenly share their key global coin details. So Laura McCracken actually let slip some details about Facebook coin the other day, and she revealed that in the white paper, it says that the cryptocurrency itself will be pegged to a basket of currencies rather than one single US dollar. So this is very interesting. Also, guys, just want to point out that the guys over at Icon are doing a stress test on the network. So in case you're wondering what's going on right here, but I do want to point out that they've actually done 1.37 million daily transactions, which is pretty incredible. So that is a pretty successful stress test, if you ask me. Also, let's talk about NEO upgrading. You have Eric Zhang, co-founder, saying that with this improvement, the DBFT consensus will have more strict finality. Users only need to wait one confirmation. Now, how cool is that? 15 seconds, one confirmation. You don't have to wait for multiple confirmations. There's no possibility of forking. This is awesome. So the upgraded consensus mechanism, you guys know it's going to require a full swap and all that other stuff. They say currently on their GitHub, it's around 62% complete, so we're definitely excited for this upgrade. Also, what the heck happened at Poloniex? A sudden crash in margin lending for Clams. Clams? Who the heck is margin trading Clams? If that's what's happening, that's crazy. Anyway, it's resulted in the loss of 1,800 Bitcoin worth of loan principal. Well, this is not good. Lenders will see the extent of their loss when they log in. Borrowers who have defaulted with their accounts frozen until they can repay their sustained default. Overall principal reduced by 16%, and this has affected 0.4% of Poloniex users. Wow. So, yeah, guys, what are you doing? Definitely don't trade on these things. Go over to Bybit and trade using leverage over there. That's what I do. I've been having a really, really great time with it. They don't really have those liquidation wicks like Bybit. I'll definitely drop that if you guys are interested above. But having a look at Clams. So let's see, it's down 11.7%. Now it's only down 8%. So it looks like it's whoa, holy, look at that dump. My goodness, this is almost as bad as the Bitcoin too. So we were down here at about $1.46, went all the way up to $18. And then look at that. I mean, that is just like, boom, straight down to $5. So has anybody been affected by this? Let me know if you've been trading your Clams out there. So I don't know what Clams are, but it looks like it was some kind of a cryptocurrency that was airdropped back in 2014 to Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Doge holders. So let me know about them Clams, fellas. Here's the initial statement from Poloniex. And moving on, Komodo hacks itself. What the heck? So it looks like they hacked themselves to exploit a vulnerability that was in the old Agama wallet app. So very interesting. Have a look at this, guys. I never heard of somebody hacking themselves. We also have Elrond partnering with TypingDNA. This is pretty interesting. So apparently these guys are a behavioral biometric software as a service company that authenticates users based on how they type on keyboards. The company's AI-based technology makes it easier to prevent fraudulent activity, such as identifying theft through typing biometrics authentication. So there you go. Authentication, validation. And that being said, guys, I want to leave you on probably one of the most important quotes you'll ever hear in your life from Warren Buffett. He says, I do 7 in a 3 split, 90, 90, 30, 25, double up, flip the 30, make it a 90, split it again, then divide by thirds. As always, remove the split, triple back out, double hodl, sell, never look back, moon, sunset, Lambo. And that is directly from Warren Buffett. And my goodness, if that's some advice to live by, whew, I don't know what is it. That being said, guys, thank you so much for coming back to the channel. Also, do not forget that we are doing the Ledger Nano X giveaway on Monday. That's right, you heard me right, Ledger Nano X. Thank you so much for everyone that's been coming back to the channel. You freaking rock. I appreciate your support. Everyone that's been liking, subscribing, commenting, joining the Telegram chat, which honestly, you guys do know I have a Telegram chat, right? It's right here. Join, absolutely free. It's a good time, good time. Love to see you there. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. My name is K-Dub. Hope you have an awesome weekend. I will see you tomorrow and the day after because we do this literally every single day. That being said, my name is K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto and peace out.